afternoon, or good evening. I'm Audrey Wiggins, and welcome to another episode of Make Something Happen. I'm so excited today to have Candace Benson here. She's my friend, she's my church member, and she's my IT. I look up to her, so she's up there, and she's going to be sharing a lot with us today regarding technology and also about the different businesses that she owns and this will give us some insight on what we can do to help and grow our businesses or even start a business. And have a little background on Candace. She's again owning her own businesses. She's worked with all kinds of entities, and she's held titles like MIS, your Management Information Services, for corporations and nonprofit groups. Also, Chief Information Officer, Network Administrator, and some of you know the level of work and the knowledge that comes with these titles, and also the different computer languages. Mm-hmm. She's involved with that, and we're going to hear more about her businesses. She's been a who's who in technology for 4 years, and three of those years have been consecutive. Mm-hmm. So, Candace, tell us more about yourself. Let's get a little introduction going here.
It's interesting enough with IT. That's not where I started.
Oh, okay.
And I like to share this story just to let people know the beauty of technology and how it can transform you.
All right.
I have a background, my degree is in marketing, and I minored in fashion merchandising.
Oh, wow.
So look how far away that
yes.
is. But
not really. Yes.
Yeah, but my work experience was in the banking field. And I was in the transition when the banks went from manual to computers.
Okay, yes.
So I was a part of that training and that team, which kind of opened up my eyes to IT. And also I was an ATM technician.
Okay.
So I used to fix ATM machines,
all
which
right.
got me into the hardware side of it.
Okay.
And then when I finished college, it was hard to land. I wanted to be a buyer.
All right.
And
a media buyer or better fashion
design buyer, and I thought
okay.
marketing would help push me further because I had a 4-year degree in marketing
yes.
and fashion merchandising. But Ohio wasn't the space for that.
Yes.
When I went to corporations, I kind of landed in the basement, and I'm thinking, oh, that's not what they prepared me for. I thought I had a Brooks Brothers suit and the BMW.
Oh, right, exactly.
I tell colleges now, you guys should have a reality 101 for
right.
seniors, because they come out thinking they're going to land these huge corporate jobs, and you have no experience, they send you to the basement.
That's right. You're against the climb.
What happened was, when I came out, I found myself back to where I worked during the summers as a student, which was the banking. I was a teller.
Okay.
So I went back to the banking because I had a degree and had the experience. They put me in higher title jobs.
Okay.
So I became a personal banker, which and I was a teller trainer and an international trainer. And then I saw the transition from manual to computers, and I kind of horned in on that. All the training for computers, and it kind of opened up my mind. Then the bank went through a flip-flop. Okay. They started letting people go who had 30 years there, laying them off. They was going to do a merger. And I was like, whoa, I'm not going to be working here for 30 years and then give it a wristwatch,
Exactly. And I'm going to interject something here. You're talking about the people laying off, the banks laying off. There's nothing new under the sun, is it? And we're going, past 10 years. All this re-engineering and all of this restructuring, and even actually 20 years back. People getting laid off for different types of reasons, and now with this economy that we're living in. Okay, go ahead.
And that's just a great understanding of how that works. But the path was set.
Yes.
If you understand faith and understand God, the path was kind of set. All of that was training to push me where I needed to go. And I remember leaving the bank. I called my husband, they had laid off the branch manager where I was at. Okay. And I was in line for the assistant manager. And I'm thinking, she hadn't done anything wrong. They just was finna merge and went into, they're going to combine branches and districts. And I'm thinking, if I take this position, I might be out next. So,
right.
I wrote a letter of resignation.
Okay.
Came out. I went to the temporary agencies. I went to Robert Half, and they were IT based, but accounting and banking, which was another path to that door.
Yes.
And they landed me. But the beauty of being a temporary is you were able to choose. I didn't know the power of that, but you're stressed out because you're looking for work. But I didn't know the power of choice. Where I got.
That's interesting.
I aligned myself with multiple
Mm-hmm.
agencies, so I really had a power of choice. So I could
Okay.
take the assignments that I wanted as opposed to just taking an assignment because I needed the job.
Yes.
And I landed a data entry position at a company called Dartag.
Okay.
And they were a chemical manufacturing company. And I used to enter in their orders. They used to take manually over the phone. And they had this one huge DECMAC computer, now I'm telling my age, that was in the back of the room. And we used to sit there all week and just take the stuff over the phone. And then on Thursday and Friday, we'd go back and key all this stuff in. I used to hear the accountant complaining when he came in once a month for the books because there was always something wrong. So one morning, the president came in.
Okay.
And I said, sir, can we try something new? And he's like, try what? I said, can we take the order on the phone at the computer? He was like, ma'am, how? The computer only has the inventory in it. I said, well, it has Notepad. So in the Notepad, we can take the customer information.
Always thinking.
Right. Take the inventory and then print that out, put those together, and work it like that. From there, I developed a system, which I had no idea that I was developing a system for the manufacturing industry to take orders on the phone directly into the computer. In that industry, I became known as this guru. And then they went from 5 million to 50 million because I developed a system that we incorporated all the pigment manufacturers all over the world. What pigments is the pigments that make the paint. I was in that industry. Sherwin-Williams, the Glittons. And then from the system, I was able to train. Then I became head of the IT department and just worked my way through that. And I tell you, I literally took the manual home because I had a degree in marketing and fashion merchandising. So when he told me yes, I could try this, I literally took this. It had to be over 1,000 something. You know those manuals back then.
Yes.
And I sat there and I read it, and I just each day I tried something new, and I developed a system that they're currently still using across the United States today. And
that is my favorite word. Awesome. We want to hear more about that. This is we're going to take a quick break, but just listening to you talk, I could just see, a timeline and what's going on, with there, and then with you and your mindset of investing in yourself, whether you knew it or not. Your future, you were investing in that current, situation and making the best of, what you had to offer. The company's really scooping you up, and that's I think that's fascinating. But we'll be right back. Thank you. Hello, it's Audrey Wiggins of Make Something Happen, and I'm coming to you today on behalf of North Coast Minority Media. They're all excited and gearing up for their annual event, the Diversity Business Health and Careers Expo and Diversity Celebration Gala. It'll all be happening on Friday, May 11th, 2012 at the Lorain County Community College Spitzer Conference Center, held in Elyria, Ohio. So we're looking forward to seeing you there. You can be a sponsor. You can have a vendor booth. There's going to be all kinds of activities going on, as well as health screenings, business-to-business speed networking. There's going to be job interview networking. So there'll be a job fair, a fashion show. There are going to be door prizes and gifts to be given away. There's going to be a luncheon and, again, the dinner in the evening. So please, click in. Look at the website there below. Click in, plug in, and we'll be seeing you on May 11th at the Diversity Business Health and Careers Expo, sponsored by North Coast Minority Media. And Lorain National Bank, Lorain County Community College, Cleveland Clinic, the National Diversity Council, and others. Candace Benson, better known as IT Guru. But you were kind of setting the stage, Candace, before we went on our break, about the first job you had. So you're at the banking and you're learning, and actually in a bank, to me, it's nothing but systems. So your mind was being trained subconsciously to me, and then you started training folks, and then go on to your next jobs, and to being a creative entity. So going back to your marketing and your fashion merchandising, merchandising, correct? And thinking of, well, what if we did it this way? you talk about, even though you may be an analytical type person, that it takes creativity, to read into that, how can we make this better?
Right.
And of course, that results, in the long run, it results in, revenues, increased revenues, so everybody's happier, and the business is growing, the company becomes viable, and they're hiring more people. But let's, take it to that next step.
Okay, and then from there, I was saying about how I was developed the system for this one corporation, and from there, I had done 10 years there.
Okay.
And I kind of plateaued. I mean, we had created a paperless office, and developed systems for other companies that was in that industry. So I kind of plateaued, and the internet hit the scene. The web, World Wide Web came on. AOL, for those who know, that was the very first internet that we knew of. I'm sure the internet started way back.
Still have AOL.
The internet came out with the war way back in the 1940s, but to the public, AOL was kind of the first introduction to us. And when it hit the scene, I wish I would have invested in AOL, because everybody thought it was a fluke back then. It was a fad. It was going to go away. And lo and behold, look at
us today.
I wouldn't be sitting here if I'd have made that
penny
investment.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be here either. I'm talking about a webisode. What is that?
It's so true.
Yes.
But from there, I was playing around, and I got bored, and because I had made them so successful, whatever I brought to the owner, back then that was Walt Warburn. Hello, Walt, if you're listening. But love him to death. But from there, I was just bored, and again, this coffee room was where we did, I call them the deal breakers. So I was like, can I try this? And he'd be like, yeah, sure. So I knew when to catch him at 6:30 in the morning in that coffee room. But anyway, went through that, and I said, one day, can I develop a website for our tech? And he was like, this industry, Candace, a web, that's all, the AOL stuff, that's fan stuff. And I was like, yeah, why not? And he was like, okay, as long as I don't interfere with you overseeing the IT and run. He's like, Candace, everything you do, something happens with it, so go for it. Again, did not have any clue about how to develop a website. Took HTML. I knew Unix back then. I'm dating myself. I knew basic C+ programming. So in Notepad, I set up this webpage. If I had to sit down today and tell you how dartech.com got to the internet, I couldn't tell you. But you thought I had $1 million. And the day I saw it online, I was screaming. The whole office ran to my office like, what? I'm like, I don't know how I got there. But nonetheless, that kind of bridged me into that. And from that,
that's fascinating.
One of the companies that was a competition for them, Seagot Corporation, took me to lunch one day. Did not understand I was being lured away. But they wanted to add another system into their department, and they wanted to grow bigger than Dartech. And to do that, they wanted to be the first, because Dartech was kind of the forefront.
Yes. And
they came and offered me this huge thing. I kind of plateaued. I was nervous because Walt had became like my father. He sent me back to school. So I got all the technology certifications that I need to be in the positions I was in. So it was like a father-daughter thing.
Yes.
But he was in Europe working on another deal. So I was like, this is the weekend to do it. So I wrote this letter. I put it on his desk Friday, thinking by the time he got back, the transition would have occurred. His son must have went in his office that night, because Monday morning when I walked in, he was at my door like, you leaving me? I can't believe it. And it was like this emotional.
And that's true, because in those days, there was a real loyalty from employer to employee and employee to employer. It really was.
It doesn't exist
I miss
anymore.
those days.
Me too.
Yeah,
and I tell kids today, I wish you guys could have that experience, because there's nothing like it.
It's not. I mean, you can soar with those types of relationships.
And that's why I think I'm doing so well, because I was mentored and trained along the way, and given opportunities that is not given today, because they can't trust you. There's no loyalty.
That's right.
And I was so torn, and he left out there upset in tears. It was emotional.
Yes.
And we're talking about I'm a woman of color, and this is a man that's Caucasian. So imagine the drama. So I felt like I was betrayed. It was just an emotional
I imagine
thing. So. But I'll never forget the first day I started at Seagot. And the vice president called me over the loudspeaker. They took me to my new office, and he asked me to come into his office. And I'm thinking, this is the first day he's going to let me go out and love Dartech. And he called me in and he goes, hold on. He put on the speakerphone and it was Walt calling to see how my first day at CGOT was.
Oh,
now ain't
that's
a
father. That's a father.
Water just came streaming down.
He could not hold you back, and you know what? He all the time. He was pushing you.
Right,
but he probably knew in his heart that one day you were going to leave.
He kept saying, "You own your own business," and I was thinking, "Me? Come on, I own my business.
How am I going to do that?
Right?
I don't know anything wrong.
Right?
You know a whole lot,
but just to having those components in place, he's a part of the journey. Yeah. So I got to see God, and then that's when I soared. Because now they had the first website in that industry.
Okay.
CGOT brought me in. I made their website in multiple languages because they was more global than Dartag.
Okay.
In different countries. So then I began to travel all over the world, training and talking about setting up the web for these different organizations. Because back then, if you had a website, it was basically a brochure online.
Absolutely.
There was no flash. It was just a page that came up with what you did, no selling capabilities. So from there, what I did along the way is every new thing came along, I kept self-teaching myself that.
Okay.
So it kept, and I was trained in that at Dartag.
Okay.
Because I used that manual.
That's right.
To learn how to just read it. And I tell kids today, anything's possible. The problem is nobody wants to read. Even today, nobody want to read. When you give people something, they're like, well, just tell me the number. No, it's on the card. Like, just tell me the number. But nobody wants to read. So if you have the tenacity just to read through some stuff, the power is right there. You can self-teach yourself. And with the internet, these kids have no excuse.
You're right.
Google it. I mean, whatever you want to do, it's got a video to show you how to do it. I mean, everything is at your guys' fingertips.
It is. You're right. Information is so close. I know you remember this. What? Encyclopedia Britannica or World Book. We had World Book.
Yep, encyclopedia. And they finna stop. I heard the other day they finna not print them anymore.
Okay, I didn't even know.
All be digital.
Okay, I didn't know they were still printing.
They still print them for the libraries. They say if they stop printing them, it's all going to be digital. Awesome. So look how far we've come.
So just think how fast they can update.
Yeah.
Because by the time you print something like that large
and the amount of money.
Yes, and the information is outdated.
Right.
So this is the internet. This whole world to me is just. It's just awesome. It's exciting.
It's exciting. That's what I tell you. We're living in the most exciting time.
Yes.
I say the internet and social media, what social media has done for us, is it's like the black and white TV. And that's what I tell the youth. For us, I can explain in our day, well, we had TV, but the generation who didn't, and they went into the black and white TV, and then now it's color.
Yeah.
Right now, social media is the black and white TV for our generation. Yes. So we're on the ground floor of something that we can help create. Absolutely. And everybody is just doing it and not looking at ways to help create it or make it better. Yes. So I tell the kids, look at it differently. Look at a way you could make it better. Right. That's how Facebook came about. He looked at something and found a way to make it better. Yeah. So if you just kind of just change your mindset, anything's possible. That's right. That's right. Anything's possible. It creates endless possibilities.
Yes. Yeah. So this is a good spot to break, and then we can come back and we'll talk more about social media and then taking that next level and what you do for companies today. That's exciting. Thanks. Okay, we'll be right back.
Did you know that your opinion matters? Did you know that your vote really counts? Well, it does, at least as soon as you apply this right. But what's a right anyway if you never use it? It's yours and nobody can take it from you, right? Wrong. By not having what you need in order to vote, you allow this right to be taken away, which is un-American, unjust, and unfair. Take a stand. Go to www.project5millionvoterid.com and place your mark in the history today.
Hi, I'm Cyrus D. Adams with templabor.org. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy the things you see. We recommend and represent quality people looking for employment. We offer consultation, and we're dedicated to the reemployment of Americans and the building of unity and people working together, fulfilling their dreams and doing the right thing. Contact us, 216-355-7069. That's templabor.org. I hope that we can help you in the future. Thank you.
We're back with Candace Benson again. Candace, we stopped off here, started to mention social media a little bit. And I know I know today we always talk about, we make the comment sometimes, if you don't have a website, you're not in business. So we're talking about the brochure website, and I remember those times. And some people today, it's like just to get on out there. They may do something, static or whatever, until they can take the time and develop a real interactive site. So for that, and into social media, and so to me, if you need both of those entities, you don't only need a website.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to have that web presence in the social arena. Those tools that we use, and some people also have the stigma of let's say like Facebook as being something that's personal.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, or as I look at it, it is personal, but it's a personal way to get your business, to get your message out. We don't want to bombard and sell a lot. I know when I first started, I was selling.
Everybody was.
And people shut down on that. And I started noticing, the type of comments that I'll get, or the what I'll get a comment on. So if you're giving information, there's a certain amount you can give away without losing money.
Right.
And you can also inspire, motivate, and encourage and entertain. And people get to know you. Like you begin to build that relationship.
Right.
Online. So speak to that, Kim.
Well, what I would like to add, you were right on point, Audrey, is that social media is like the new currency. That's what I call it. It is a way to introduce you professionally, what you do as a business owner. But one key component is you have to remember to stay social. That's why it's called social media. A lot of people miss that and they just jump on there without a plan, and they're like, I just got to have a presence, or I just need to sell this or get this. But you have to understand, with social media, it's the new currency, and it is the new money, I call it. It's free. So how do you engage people free? You have to develop a relationship first.
Yes.
Get them to want to hear what you have to say. Then they will come and support whatever you want to sell.
Yes.
So if you develop the relationship first, and I say stay social, and I've come up with a tagline that Facebook is for family and friends.
Okay.
That you can also incorporate your business, because you want, some business owners got products for families and friends.
That's right.
I say Twitter is the cocktail party.
Okay.
Okay, so with Twitter, you only got 140 seconds to do the cocktail party. When you're standing around having a cocktail, you don't have
a long time.
That's right.
That's right. But you want to make an impact without those few seconds. You do that.
Right. And I say LinkedIn is work.
Yes.
LinkedIn, you're going to work.
That's it.
So you need to be professional. There's only professional people out there. So if you remember those three things when you're going into those are top three. There's several. There's zillions others, but if you just remember those three things, then you can begin to build a strategy around how you can use those platforms to enrich whatever you're doing. And if you notice, I always share Zuckerberg's story, who's the founder of Facebook, and Facebook is still free.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't. I think we take it for granted. But when AOL came out, there was a charge.
That's right.
Everybody forgets that. It cost. When certain things came, it was a charge to have those accounts. And we paid for it.
Yes, we did.
He came out and gave us, look at all the things you can do on Facebook for free. So all the people who heckle it and hating when he makes changes, remember, it's free.
Yes.
And use those changes as a learning curve and another opportunity to learn something new.
Yes.
Because you're self-teaching yourself. And look at the power in that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like,
the cover page. Come on now.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful idea. I'm like, it's almost a web page.
It's
the static web page now.
Absolutely, it's a different format.
Right.
Absolutely,
right.
Yes.
So I didn't think of
With this interaction going around.
Right, it's beautiful. So use all those tools to market yourself, brand yourself. I tell the youth, remember that you're branding yourself. When you're online, nothing goes away. Although you can delete it from your box, it's crawled already. When you hit submit, it's out there.
Yes.
So maybe delete it from your site, but you don't know who tagged that, who got that,
right.
And it could be all out there. I mean, I put stuff out there 98 that I can find. I'm thinking, whoa,
wow.
So you can just understand and use it to brand yourself. And have fun with it. But remember, other people are watching. It's just not you and the friend that you're having this conversation with. The world can log in. There's people stalking Facebook pages. They're not even joined, but they're looking at your stuff.
That's crazy.
People are like, Candace, you doing this? And I'm thinking, I was trying to friend you. And it's like, girl, you have a Facebook page. I'm thinking, oh, so you just read? So you need to be aware of that. There's people who are just they're stalkers. I call them Facebook stalkers.
Mm-hmm.
They're seeing what you're doing, but they don't want to.
They don't participate.
Right, and they're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid to join, which is another issue. But we'll get back to that.
Yes. I've got some people in my back pocket I've been trying to push out there.
It's
like you're a business, you have to be on Facebook. Forget about what you heard, because there's dangers and tricks everywhere.
Right.
Yes.
And it's no more what they heard, because I hear people talking about, I don't want to see what somebody cooking. When you go on Facebook, it's very little of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think when it initially started, it was a lot more of that, but it's very little of that. I mean, people may share, I'm at a dinner, or, but I mean, it's not like this is what I ate, this is how I'm brushing my teeth, because you talk to people who don't understand, they're like, I don't know nobody's brushing it. I'm like, there's not too many people doing that.
And and when they do it, it's in a context of something, so it's not just, like, oh, well, it's Friday.
That's good. So yeah, I'll tell everybody, get social, drop the fear. It's not going anywhere. Embrace it while it's free.
Yes.
It is free marketing. I mean, utilize it to the fullest. So, and it's a free class. I mean, all you need to do is get some internet service and go to school.
Exactly. But aside of that, you do teach classes.
Yes, I do.
So,
yes, I do. Well, Camp Tech, let's jump into that.
Okay.
That is my current entity, and all my focus. And what Camp Tech is an interactive technology curriculum for youth 4 through 18. And what that comprises of is game, graphic, web design, 3D animation, filmmaking, digital and social media. And we're also branching out where we have adult courses like Parent Tech, where parents of students who want to learn. We have. I don't have any kids. Can I come too? Yes, we have a biz tech for business owners who don't want to come, but who want to know how to do mobile apps and how to brand themselves better using the different tools. And
that's awesome.
So visit us online. I always tell people Google me, Google Camp Tech, or Google Candace Benson, and you can find out more about us.
Okay, that's great. Now, as far as the Camp Tech, you do that in various entities, supporting different organizations or school districts. Let's expand on that. Just don't put that out there. Let's hear more.
Let's go back to the storytelling.
Okay.
We're gonna stay social.
Yes.
Camp Tech was developed over 10 years ago. We're celebrating 10 years this year. We started in 2002, and Camp Tech came into existence. I was asked to build a technology lab at Mount Zion Community Development Center. Put the lab in there, and once it was finished, the pastor and trustee was like, well, Candace, what are we going to put in it? And I'm like, classes. I was like, give me a couple days. Let me think about it.
Yes.
So spring was coming, summer was coming. I'm thinking, what could I do quickly? I just... I had a young son back then, and I was like, I have to do something that he can do too, because it was summer. And I decided to teach kids web development. Okay. And I had to come up with a name. And I'm like, it's technology, summertime is camps. So I came up with Camp Tech. So that's how the name came about. Okay. So Camp Tech was birthed at Mount Zion Community Development Center. And from that, it was a summer program for up to 5 years. And then I had a student in there whose parent was a principal of John Adams High School. All right. And they were opening up the new John Adams. Okay. And she said, would you love to bring this into the schools? We got beautiful state-of-the-art labs. And I'm like, sure. But never in my wildest dreams did I think Camp Tech was going to take off as it did. It was just something I did for the summer. But another path got me on. Yes. And lo and behold, now Camp Tech is in multiple school districts. We're in Canton Public Schools, Akron Public Schools, Cleveland Public Schools. We're at the University of Akron. We're at Kent State. We're at ITT Tech. I have Columbus is waiting. Atlanta is waiting. I've been holding back because I didn't want to go national or global, as some people want to say.
I was going to ask you about this online. I was going in my mind. I'm going straight to the overseas.
Right. Well, I have some kids from the Philippines. We have a camp virtual. Last summer we had 2 kids who Skyped in from the Philippines. Wow. So it has that capability. So this year I've been focused on building out the online community. I've been holding back because I couldn't see myself outside of Northeast Ohio because I have 3 children who are 12, 10, and 5. But I'm thinking how I can do that is online. So we have programs available, and just right now my struggle is, do I want to license or franchise?
Okay.
So I'm working through all that. Met a gentleman who is a franchise of Chick-fil-A this morning, and
Okay.
he was like, "Oh, you're franchising." I was like, I kind of hate sharing the story because everybody wants to be like,
give our take and tell
right.
you.
I'm always open though. I stay open.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to
Yeah.
stay
A woman
open.
of faith, you'll tune in and get the right answer.
Right.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I'm gonna take another quick break and come back and hear more about Camp Tech and your other businesses and how they're linking together.
Camp Tech allows you to create endless possibilities. We teach interactive technology through game, graphic, web design, 3D animation, and filmmaking for youth, businesses, parents, seniors, toddlers, for all ages. For more information, please visit our website at camptechonline.com. Camp Tech, creating endless possibilities.
We're back with Candace Benson. Candace, this has been an exciting interview. I have to tell you, and the way you give the information and tell it, weave it as a story, very interesting, and got me all plugged in. I'm sitting on the end of my seat, like, what's she's gonna say next? What is she gonna say next?
Well, all my girlfriends like, when is your book coming out on that? When is your book coming out on that story? Because everybody wants to hear that story.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking,
Yes.
who wants to hear my story?
That's why we live, to tell our story. We weave it every day. We're gonna live that story.
So I said when I've been interviewed, I'm telling my story. Maybe I get somebody to transcribe. It'll become a book.
Exactly. Absolutely. Okay, so we were talking about the Camp Tech and how you were thinking about anyway, presenting it globally. They were talking about your franchise or license, and so let's finish that up and then go into the SUTG.
Okay.
The companies.
Okay. Well, let's back it up because
All right.
Camp Tech came.
Okay.
That's my latest entity.
Okay.
SUTG was my first business. I started.
Mm-hmm.
And I started that back in 1998, and I was a web developer at the court when I developed a website for CGuide.
Okay.
And I had my first son then, and I had to be on bed rest, so they were able to pay me at home, and I maintained the sites from there. So when it was time to go back after maternity leave,
remember that started.
right, remote, and that was remote access in. That was back in the 90s, so it's possible. When I had to go back to work though, had that new mom syndrome set in.
Okay.
I didn't like the long hours. I was working way out in Streetsboro at CGuide, and just the travel time.
Yes.
So I used to get home late in the evening. I'm like, we gotta find a way to fix this. So did this huge proposal to the company that they could pay me like it was when I was on maternity leave.
Okay.
And then I could still work for them, but not at home. Lo and behold, not realizing when they approved it that I really started my business, and they were my first client, but I didn't see it as that.
Right.
It took me probably like a year and a half later, as I was in my office at home, and I was posting something for their site, because I would literally get up, take care of the baby, go into the, I was trained corporately,
Yes,
so I went into my office at home, and I didn't realize until a girlfriend called me like, you know, can we have lunch at 2? I was like, girl, no, I'm at work. I do lunch from 12 to, I was programmed, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And she was like, Candace, you at home. Guess what? We're going to do it tomorrow, so do your work early. Then at 2 o'clock we'll go. And then when I was sitting at lunch with her, I was like, I could be out at 2, and it's okay. I mean the psychology of that, but really, I didn't realize that. She was like, girl, you're running your own business. And I was like, yeah. So when I did SUTG site, I used to do a lot of church websites back then.
Okay.
So I put the corporate website, CGOT, because I was doing it from my house, not knowing. And from that, oh my God, I got flooded with all those people I used to train around the world. It was like, you're doing websites? And so it just launched, and I had the corporate end, and I did the nonprofit end. So SUTG was birthed from there. Kind of outgrew. I had the mentality back then that when you own a business, you need a location.
Yes. That's
so I went and got me an office. I was in Bradley Construction on 105 for those who know. That was my first SUTG office. So I had this office, but I never was there. I went when I had clients to meet, or I would go there because, you know, I was paying to go there, but I was like, I didn't even need to be there because I could still work from my house.
Yes.
But that's what business growth. You have to go through those things to understand. And I'm thinking, why am I paying this overhead for this office building when I could work from anywhere?
Yes.
So with that, SUTG's kind of escalated. We started doing major accounts for mega churches.
Okay.
I walked up to the elder of our church, McCrimmager. They didn't have a website back then. I'm like, before I take him to accounts, I gotta get my own church website.
Exactly.
So I actually have a website. He was like, he had a few proposals, but no, I said I would like to give that to my church. So I can develop their first website. I'll never forget it. I got this cross to Flash had just came out, and I got this cross to it came together. And then it landed into this cross. Now, it took me hours to get the timeline. If anybody understands Flash out there, you have to timeline how you get those things to move and join together. And I remember it was about 2 a.m. and that thing came together.
You probably shot
My husband was saying, he woke up like, what's the matter? What's the matter? I was like, oh my God, go back to bed. Go into your world. Shut the door.
Okay.
And that was like a great moment for me when I got that thing to come together. It was just like revelation. And it was just a moment for me. But God has been good. And like I said, from SUTG with the web development, it moved into the church, asking me to do the technology lab. Then they had the community development. So after they did that, they asked me to be director of technology, which opened up other doors. So it's just been a journey. As I say, Camp Tech's slogan is creating endless possibilities. And in that, I truly believe IT has allowed me to create endless possibilities. And I pass that down to students because when I go across the country and speak on educational technology is technology is not field specific. It's in every field. It's in every corporation in America. Either there's a IT department somewhere or IT closet, or they're hiring an IT consultant. So I tell kids, my journey is a great journey, but make IT one of your majors or minors. Because whether you want to be a doctor and you can't land in that, IT can put you in the environment you want to be in because you can be in the environment of what you want to do and the passion still can emerge. So with that, I just think it creates endless possibilities.
Absolutely. That's a good place to to bring our journey today winding down to a close. And with our final question, then what impact do you hope to have on the future of IT?
Well, Audrey, I've been labeled recently a pioneer. That ages me. Awesome title though. I've been called an inventor. I don't think I invented anything. I just used the tools that was given to me and made things happen. So I guess because of when I started and I've been through the transitions of all the different elements of IT, I guess could make me a pioneer.
Absolutely.
My latest venture is getting more women involved in IT. We're still not present. I've been in this long. I'm called to major conferences, always 90%. I say 95% men, maybe 2 women in the room. It's never women of color or minority women present. I was offered every 2 years. I kind of interview for IT positions just to see, am I still current? Can I still do it? I got interviewed at American Greetings. They interviewed me 7 times.
Wow.
And they wanted to bring me in, but it was all men. And I felt like I didn't want to be there. I mean, I wanted to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to bring me on as a consultant. But the tension of the room with the men was this competition. And I think it's sad. So
yes,
with the current technologies out, I say it's very creative. And women are the most creative beings on the planet. So for all the moms out there and women out there, get your daughters involved in this field. I mean, it's not just mathematics and classical programming. I think that's the myth. Because we're doing a lot of research on why women are not engaged in this field. Colleges are giving 4-year degrees for women to be a part of computer science.
Wow.
Because it's falling off the Richters. So just want people to stay more engaged.
Okay. All right. So that will be the impact of turning that over for that ratio around and closing that gap on men and women and people of color in IT. But Candace, again, thank you so much for coming by today and your wisdom and your storytelling, and keeping it whimsical but a very serious and exciting subject on technology. And we look forward to to celebrating you in the future and seeing what's next on the horizon.
And again, visit our website. We have some great giveaways this year. So
all right.
Yeah, check
and you
it
get
out.
the website one more time?
CampTechOnline.com, or you can Google Candace Benson and all of my stuff will come up, or CandaceBenson.com.
Okay, and in the meantime, you go out and make something happen.